Hello, there's loads of lavender today on Pots and Trowels, which is brought to you with the support of Mr. Fothergill Seeds and Cobra Garden. Well, the lavender on our front garden that leads up to the front door has done really well this summer. It started to flower in June and it's gone right the way through until about the middle of August, just full of flowers, and it's been absolutely fantastic. The bees have loved it all the time, so a great source of nectar for them. Now the question often is, do you trim or not? Well, as far as I'm concerned, yes, the answer is give it a trim, because I want to keep this nice and compact and bushy so that we get masses of flower every year. If you don't trim it now, you're going to have to do it in the spring anyway, so I think doing it now you get a little bit of new growth, greens it up over winter, and it looks much better. I do leave some on the back garden, having said that, and then the seeds fall to the ground and the birds get them, so they're getting their share as well. So when it comes to trimming, two ways you can do it. Traditionally, a good pair of shears like this, a nice sharp pair, so we can get a nice rounded edge, or some people like to use secateurs. So if you're using secateurs, what we do is just gather some of it together and trim it, but that's fine if you've only got one or two plants to do. But where I've got this hedge and there's about a dozen plants each side, it's going to take me forever. So I'm not going to use the secateurs for this, they can go there. I'm going to use the shears. And what we're aiming to do is we're aiming to cut the old flower stalks off and a little bit of the growth that it made. We're not going to go right down into the old wood because they don't always grow and shoot from it, although there are buds I can see there, but I'm just going to give it a tidy up. So I'm just going to get the shears and just cut all the flowering stems off, and probably an inch or two of the growth that it made. And what I normally do is I go over it roughly to start with, pick all the bits up, and then you can just go over it again just to make sure that you've got the shape that you want. And you want it nice and even, and you can see there though, I'm getting rid of the flowers, and once you've got rid of the flowers, it just gives you a bit more idea of the shape. Just flick those bits off there. So what I can do now is just work my way along it, but what I would do is probably take that down just a little bit more like that, just to level it up and round it off, and that then will make just a little bit of growth, not much. We're middle of September now, so it's really only going to make probably, you know, some little short shoots, but then it's going to be prepared for the winter. And then come the spring, if it needs a little bit of tidying up, I can do that as well, and then off it will grow, and we're going to finish up once again with a lovely flower full hedge here of lavender that will attract the bees. But I'm going to finish this off, or Mrs. Fish will probably finish it later off for me. I'm going to show you now what you can do if you want to grow some more plants from cuttings. Come on Molly, in you go, out the rain. Come on this way. Perfect timing, just finished the hedge and now it's started to rain, so thought I'd just pop into the greenhouse and just very quickly show you how you can take some cuttings from the trimmings that you've taken off the lavender. These are all the old flower heads here, so obviously they're no good with the little shoots at the bottom, but what I have saved are some, I'll put those in the bin, of the non-flowering shoots that were growing from the base of the lavender. And here you can see these are lovely, nice new shoots that were growing. They've not had any flowers on them at all. We've got the growing tip still in there, and they're just starting to go woody at the base. So a soft tip and a woody base, and that is the perfect time to take cuttings of these. This is what we call a semi-hardwood cutting. So to prepare them is really simple. First thing to do, and we can't do this with all cuttings of course, but with lavenders you can. I'm just going to hold the top very gently, and then I'm going to gather the leaves here, just leaving a little cluster of leaves, and then just carefully pull it through my fingers and it just strips them off. So it's really easy to do, and I'm going to do probably 5 or 6 of those to start with. So just pull the leaves off, doesn't do any harm to them at all, and then one more maybe just here, just put those there. I can do those later. So what we've got now are essentially 5 cuttings there, but they're too long. We need them to be probably just 2.5, 3 inches maximum. So what I'm going to do is trim them to length, and we can see if we look closely on there where the leaves were. They're the leaf joints, or what we call the nodes, as we look at those. So 2 ways of doing it. The way I like to do it is to use a knife. It's the sort of traditional way and the way I was taught, and then I know it's dangerous, but I cut onto my thumb, and it's just practice. So where the node is, I'm just going to put the knife about 1 millimetre below and just cut that through, and that is my cutting. So it's really as simple as that. Now I know lots of people don't like using a knife. What you could do is cut down onto a wooden surface, but the other way, and a much simpler and safer way, is to get a little pair of secateurs or snips like this, and then again we identify where the nodes are, just 1 millimetre below, snip, that's a cut in, and another one there, snip. And you can see the length of these is about maybe 2.5 inches long. It doesn't matter if they're slightly longer or shorter, they will still grow. So that is the cuttings prepared. And then what do we put them in? Well, if you're doing quite a few and you've got some of these little cell trays, these are ideal. Just fill them 1 cutting per cell. I like to do them in terracotta clay pots like this. These are porous, so the air can get through. It's difficult to get them waterlogged because they're porous, so they're ideal for this type of cutting. And the compost I'm using here is a multi-purpose. It's a nice fibrous one in there. It's one that's got straw in it and bracken. Nice compost, and then I've added some perlite. Perlite are the little white balls in it, which is a volcanic rock. That helps with the air and the drainage, makes it ideal for rooting cuttings. Fill it like that. We don't need to firm it at this stage, and because these cuttings are quite firm, I don't need a dibber. I'm just simply going to push them in about halfway, so the foliage is just on the surface, and they've got about 1 inch of their stalk below the surface. No rooting powders needed. They'll root. They're around the edge of the pot. Give them a tap. What we do now is give those a drink of water to moisten them, and then we've got to keep them moist. So if you've got a little propagator, that's ideal, but just somewhere shady outside that's protected, even a windowsill. These are quite tough, and they will root within the next 6 to 8 weeks, and then we can pot them up, and by next year we'll have lovely little plants that we can put out in the garden. So great way to use the trimmings and get some new lavender plants for free. Thank you for watching Pots and Trowels, and thank you for all your likes and shares. Next time we're going to be propagating perennials. I'm going to divide a few and prick out some seedlings. So we'll see you then. Bye.